All right, welcome to the Gospel Rescue Mission. This is our purpose. We are partnering with the community to serve those who are in crisis, to restore them to freedom and purpose through the transforming power of the gospel. It's the gospel that will change your life. I just recently read about a drug and alcohol treatment program that is nothing but memorization of Scripture. Changes their mind thinking and does a lot of things. So renew your mind with the power of God. That's our purpose and what we want to do. I want to start off by going over our guidelines so you understand what the rules are here, what our guidelines are. A rule is something that's non-negotiable. You break these, you got to leave. There has to be a consequence. The guidelines, though, are negotiable. We can talk through these. We can make adjustments. We can make exceptions. So first of all, go over the rules. If you do any of these things, you are choosing to exit Gospel Rescue Mission. Understand it's your choice. We are just going to back up your choice. You do these things, the minute you do them, understand you have chosen to leave. One of them is use or possession of drugs, drug paraphernalia, or alcohol. You got a beer can in your hand, you're choosing to leave the program. You're choosing to leave Gospel Rescue Mission. Any illegal activity. So you break the law and try to hide out here. The Old Testament has people going to the temple and hiding out, holding on to the horns of the altar. You don't get to do that here. We're turning you over. As much as I love you and want to be with you, we don't hide you from the police. Any behavior that presents a safety hazard to other guests or staff. I had to throw this one in there because I don't know what somebody's going to come up with that might be dangerous. So this is that catch-all. So you do something that's going to be dangerous, we're going to ask you to leave. It's all about safety. Okay, now assault. That one should be pretty self-explanatory. You assault somebody, we're going to ask you to leave. We can't let you stay here. Any threatening behavior, which includes physical acts, verbal threats, or racist remarks. You will be asked to leave. And then the other one is possession of weapons. So any weapons, we're going to ask you to leave. So those are the rules. Those are the non-negotiables. Those are things we're going to hold in place no matter what comes up. Now the guidelines. Now guidelines are that the guest must show an ID within 14 days of arrival at the mission. This has two purposes. First of all, I can confirm who you are, that you are who you say you are. But number two is, it's very difficult to get a job, to get a lot of things going in life if you don't have an ID. So we will help you do that. We'll pass you on to the right people to make that resource take place. But it's a guideline. We need to find out who you are. Guests must complete their daily chores to include cleaning your personal space. You clean your area around your bed, in your room. You clean your mess when you're in the dining room or you're hanging out. You clean up your mess. Guests must complete their extension course or have a job within 3 weeks. They do another extension course and another extension course. Up to 12 weeks you can stay here. So make sure you're staying on those. That's your ticket to stay here longer. Right, some community standards. Safety. Report all emergencies and incidents to staff immediately. The sooner you tell us, the sooner we can deal with something. Everybody keeps tripping over the same little piece of fabric on the ground. We could fix that, but we got to find out about it first. Don't be hiding and not telling people. We need to find out. For safety, we also ask you to not invite anyone not staying here into the mission anywhere on the site. You can turn them over to staff. Let staff show them around if we decide to do that. But don't just bring anybody on site. You don't know who's really abusive and who's dangerous necessarily. Let us handle that piece. All right, public displays of affection are not allowed on site regardless of marital status. So it doesn't matter if you're married, don't be kissing and hugging and all those sort of things. We also ask you to have confidentiality. Do not talk about other guests to anyone, including anyone who comes looking for them at the mission. We don't talk about who's staying here. We don't know who's really in hiding. Again, that's really important. You might accidentally tell people where their abused or their victim is. You're talking out in the library, you think nobody's listening. Somebody's listening. You could be putting somebody in danger. All right, for safety, keep your children with you at all times, even to take out the garbage and to have a quick smoke. Also for safety, only smoke in the designated area and clean up after yourself. That's kind of a theme. Let's clean up after ourselves. Right? Also community standards for health. Practice good hygiene, shower, wash hands, launder clothes, and bedding regularly. Alert staff to any contagious conditions. We're not going to make fun of you. We're going to direct you to the places to get the help you need. You don't want to be contagious, spread it all over the place. Now stay out of other guest rooms and only sit and lie on your own bed. All right, also for community living, actively parent your children according to the standard of Christ-likeness. Respect mission property. Clean up after yourself when using any of the facilities. Do not touch or borrow other guests' belongings. It wasn't too long after I got here that somebody actually walked out wearing another gal's shirt. And it had been stolen from her. She was pretty fired up. We have a lot of conflict when that takes place. So don't borrow other people's stuff. Don't take other people's stuff. Theft is just not acceptable. And we ask you to dress modestly every time you leave your room. A quiet time starts at 10:15 to include no electronics. And also realize the mission is not responsible for lost or stolen property. Now when you exit, everybody exits here. It's a temporary facility. We're here to be temporary, this place is. When you leave the mission, you must be for a minimum of 1 day for every day that you have stayed here. Any mail will be returned to sender, so it's up to you when you leave to get your mail forwarded to the next spot. Any belongings left unattended at the mission for more than 48 hours will be collected as a donation. And anyone leaving the mission may be required to meet with staff by appointment before applying for re-entry and continue your stay at Gospel Rescue Mission. Now, some expectations I want to share with you that staff will do. Guidelines aren't just for you, they're also for staff. Staff will treat each person as an individual. Staff is committed to listen to you. Staff is committed to demonstrate love. Staff will hold guests accountable for their choices. Staff will protect our guests. Staff will encourage positive life change through groups and classes. Staff will treat guests with respect. Staff will address issues effectively. Staff will provide a safe place to share concerns. Staff will provide for basic needs. And staff will be consistent enforcing guidelines. All right, just some expectations of the guests so you know what we're expecting out of you. Guests, we expect you to attend small group, chapel, or other mandatory events as directed by staff. Be willing and desirous to get a job. Respect and be patient with each other. We expect you to be drug and alcohol free during your mission stay. Guests will view the mission services as God's gift and not as a right.